Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacciana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we have an insert for a Prince Rocky petrol lighter. I don't know exactly when it was produced, sometime between the 50s and 70s most likely. And a few little clues that will apply to Zippos or any other kind of insert style petrol lighter that you may encounter. The number one problem with any vintage Zippo lighter or any other vintage insert style lighter, we're going to cover that here in a moment. But to get started, we're going to look at, first of all, the wick and just see if we can salvage this or if we're going to need to replace it. So as I've talked about many times, we have the pull and snip method. So we're going to get a firm grip on that wick and pull it out. You can see there, pretty dirty, but looks like we can trim it off. And we will likely be okay. Sometimes if you see that wick is degraded or the structural integrity of it just isn't there, then you'll want to go ahead and replace it. I get questions all the time about asbestos wicks, and my statement to those people is if I was concerned about an asbestos wick, then I would just go ahead and change the wick in any vintage lighter that I was going to use to smoke. I wouldn't use any of the wicks that you would find in them, because I think back then they would likely all be prone to have something like that in them. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. If you enjoy watching videos about repairing old petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacciana, and other useful mechanisms, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video that you're watching. Tell your friends about the channel. Hit the share button. Send that link off in a text, email, post it on social media, however it is that you communicate with folks nowadays, and let them get a look at it for themselves. You can leave any comments or questions below the video. We would also appreciate it if you would follow and like us across all the social media platforms. That'll be Dependable Flame or dependableflame.com on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and of course eBay. So the number 2 thing that I'm going to do with this, just for my own sake, looks like we probably got some degraded flint in here. Or is that the wick? Maybe it's just the wick. So we will go ahead and leave that as it is. But when I get one like this, if I'm going to use this and put this in my collection, I would go ahead and turn this. Why not? Even if I was going to use it. I don't know, there might be a way to bleach those. Maybe I need to check that out. But just for the time being, that's the way I would handle that. Now, as I said earlier, the number one problem with vintage Zippo lighters or any other old insert style lighter is going to be that the flint tube is obstructed. And here's the number one clue that the flint tube is obstructed. If the screw is screwed all the way in, or if it's really screwed in at all, most likely, and the wheel will turn without any kind of pressure against it or friction or sparks, then there's something in there obstructing the tube. It's just that simple. So in that case, as we can see here, with the spring in there, it's just spinning freely. And I've also showed this before, how to test it. You can see how far that goes up in there. You can keep your mark where it's at, and you can see it's pretty close, but it doesn't reach quite as far as it needs to. So we're going to clear this flint tube real quick. And with a lighter like this that doesn't have a tremendous amount of value, I usually just hit it with the big drill bit, straight tube, and if it'll go through, then we'll be done here in just a second. There you go. So I'm going to go in there and blow this out. Okay, so spinning freely, the spring now reaches there to meet it. We're going to get a flint in, and replace our flint spring screw. If you haven't been over to eBay and checked out the Dependable Flame store, make sure you do that. Every purchase that you make, at least 10% will benefit HDSA, Huntington's Disease Society of America. And we also run 3 penny start auctions each month. Free shipping. High bidder gets the lighter. The organization, the charity, gets the money. And everyone is happy. Make sure that you follow us on eBay so that you can get the notifications or get that in your email when those new listings show up. So to make certain that you're not left out of the fun. Same thing with the YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the bell so you get those notifications when we publish a new video. Otherwise, you just have to wait till the algorithm gets around to showing it to you. So we've got that fueled, wick trimmed off, pad turned around, everything looked clean enough. Cam spring is good and tight. This case has some issues, but overall, very nice lighter. Until next time.